Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Margaret. I'm a historical costumer and textile conservator in training. And today I thought I would take you through this Delineator magazine that is featured in my title card. I did have a great video planned for you today, which I intend to get out next week, but unfortunately my computer has been broken. This is an ongoing problem, as you might have heard a couple weeks ago. Still the same issue, so I'm hoping that it is fixed and I can pick it up today, but I still wanted to get a video out for you guys because I want to keep consistent, not just for you, but for me as well. So this is my Delineator magazine, as you've probably seen in my title card. It's from January of 1906. And this is actually in really, really good shape for its age. The Delineator magazine was started by the Broderick Publishing Company. You may know them from their patterns. They're still around today, actually. And this particular magazine, the Delineator, I believe was published from the mid-1870s, like 73, until I believe 1937, and then it merged with another magazine, and then 1939 they stopped production. So this is from about the middle of its run. I absolutely love the Delineators in the early 20th century because they have these beautiful illustrations on them. So, as you can see, it was $1 a year to be subscribed to this magazine and 15 cents a copy, which is just so cool. I love the Delineator specifically because it is one of the first like fashion magazines. A lot of the ladies magazines that you see, like Godey's and Peterson's and all of that from the middle of the 19th century are more ladies magazines. So these magazines were intended to, they have sheet music, they have stories, they have housekeeping tips. They were meant to sort of promote domesticity in the Victorian life. Whereas in the later 19th century and the early 20th century, we're starting to see women as consumers of fashion. And so magazines crop up that are completely about fashion. And so the Delineator is one of those. So as you can see, this magazine is rather thick. It's definitely thicker than magazines that you would get today, and it is in stunningly good condition. If you are like me and you are one of those people who is really into archival material as well as textiles, you would know that during this period of production, they were starting to use cheaper quality papers, wood pulp papers that can be very acidic and degrade over time. So yeah, it's really nice to get this copy in such great condition. I got this at a garage sale for like $2, which is fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. This particular garage sale too, they noticed that I was into these older things and they were like, oh, you like old stuff? And I'm like, I can always talk about historical fashion. So I said, oh, I don't just like old stuff. I mean, I work with old stuff. I love old stuff. I love historic textiles. And they were like, oh my God, I have a dress that I don't know what to do with. And she gave me a early 20th century lingerie dress for free. So that was awesome. Anyway, let's get into it. First off, we have the lovely illustration. We have this lady with her ermine muff. As you can see, little faces on there. I don't know, like, I don't mind wearing vintage furs, vintage and antique furs, but the faces still freak me out. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into this. We get the title page. I love these antique advertisements. So you can see this is bound just by stapling it and then gluing the cover on, which, so we first have this Tiffany advertisement. That's really cool. Gotta get Old Virginia corn relish. What is corn relish when used with oysters? They have some some of the weirdest stuff. Linear family personal talks. Oh, isn't that illustration beautiful? Ivory soap. There's some interesting sort of advertisements for ivory soap. So we have our table of contents. Oh, look at this. Carnival. I could talk forever about Victorian fancy dress and like Victorians' interpretation of this. I believe it's supposed to be like an 18th century shepherdess. It's so spectacularly weird having a separate time period interpret a different time period. I don't know about you, but when I see historic artifacts, I'm like, these just like popped into existence. I never think about them actually having like this super long lifespan where they were interpreted in different ways. So it's always interesting to see illustrations like this. Oh, I mean, that. I love wrappers and tea gowns, a lot. So that's beautiful. Fashions in New York. Oh my God, look at those. So gorgeous. Lace collars, belts. Okay, belts like this, I swear to you, I have made so many of these for costumes because these do not survive. These just belts don't make it. And so I have made like that exact belt, that like tapered front belt, so many times for so many different things. I should say I dress mannequins every once in a while, so that's what I do that for. Oh my God. 1909 is just such a fabulous year. I mean, that shape. And you always have to remember when looking at these illustrations, this isn't necessarily what women look like. This is a fashion magazine, and they still definitely had all the notions and prejudices of fashion magazines that we think of today. You know, the models are going to be thin, they're going to be weird, you know, they're going to be a idealized figure that isn't necessarily, you know, representative of everyone at that time period. So you got to remember that too when you're looking at these fashion magazines. But I mean, that is a stunning line though. You got to say that this silhouette, for being as ridiculous as it is and as corseted as it is stunning. It's gorge. I love the plaid. I don't know how I feel about like the half sleeves. I kind of like a full sleeve, but maybe that's just me. My half sleeveness. These thin hips. I love this early color printing here. This is not hand color. This is early colored printed. I don't really know what the process is, but that is very interesting. Ruffles, ruffles, ruffles. Oh my goodness, that early color print. I just love these like that like straight geometric line too. You don't see that earlier in this decade, but by the end of the decade, you really see that sort of geometric, sort of more Art Nouveau styling, which is always nice. And more pigeon-breasted Gibson girls over here. Look at that. Oh, their little dog. That dog is so tiny. A little puppy. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Like, you could wear that today. You could definitely get away with those. I mean, you would be a little eccentric, but like, you could do it. I'm all about looking a little eccentric too. Also, I've been researching a pocket video, which I hope will get out to you next week. I swear. It's been like 3 weeks where I'm like, I'm gonna get the pocket video out. I'm gonna get the pocket video out, and then something happens. But during this period, we kind of see pockets sort of disappear in women's fashion, because as you can see, that hip line, that's hugging the hips. That is hugging the hips. So we see the rise of the handbag. So that's interesting that you're seeing the handbag here. She probably would have had pockets in this coat because it's a little bit more loose fitting, but look at that handbag. It's cool. And the belt. Always that belt with that huge buckle that never survives, and I have to make one. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That is commitment. That is a look that she has committed to, and she's doing it. It's pretty ridiculous. The hats in this period too are absolutely humongous. Sportswear. Ooh, I love sportswear too. What don't I love? I really love everything, but golf. Oh, I don't love golf. Sorry, Dad, I really don't love golf. Not my favorite. I would go golfing with my father when I was younger, only for a Kemp's ice cream sandwich. That was the only reason I was there. Well, I had to hang out with him, but mostly for the Kemp's ice cream sandwich, which honestly, I should have gone for the Toll House cookie one. That would have been a much better incentive, but it's okay. Anyway, look at that. That muff is like so barrel-like. That's insane. Oh, look. I think that's like an ice skating pose. Instep length. Clearing length. That's interesting, the different lengths of skirts. Mid-sweeping, short length. That's cool. Different skirt lengths. Oh, look at this. I love finding things like this. This is a little card you could send in if you wanted to become a subscriber. So you should become a subscriber of this YouTube channel. You don't have to send in a card for that. You just click a button. A lot easier. Again, we got short round length, medium sweep, clearing length, round length with trimming band, and clearing length. So that's interesting. Clearing length is like right off the floor. Medium sweep, you're on the floor. Short round length, that's cool. I'll have to use those terms now. I'll be like, I can use those terms now that I've started to read this magazine. So that reminds me of like a 1940s bed jacket. Does that remind you of a 1940s bed jacket? Undies. You know I love undies. Again, what don't I love? I love sportswear. I love underwear. Yeah, I love it all. Attractive of short jackets, combinations, and skirts. Oh, I should say too, these people sold patterns. Obviously, Butterick sold patterns. So when you see these little numbers, those are patterns that you could buy. Beautiful. I think my earliest Butterick pattern I own is from the 20s, so I don't have any of these. Fashions of youthful wearers. Ooh, kiddos. Not as into kids dress. I think it's adorable, but like, it's not my fave. Okay, those are cute though. Look at those. A little cutie. Oh god. Kid stuff. I know a lot of kid stuff. Some French handmade caps. This is early photograph printing too. Those are photographs. Very early photographic printing. I should say photographs have been around since the 1830s, but printing them for mass production like this is anywhere. Look at that. Look. Oh my god, they look like they're having so much fun. Except for that chick. She does not look like she's having fun. You gotta remember that these, well, we're getting down to, so photographs, up until really this period, were very, very long exposure times. So that's why people look so stiff, is because you had to sit there for like 20 seconds to get a good photo, up to a minute for the really early stuff. So this is when we're first starting to see some fun personality from people in photographs. And, you know, these are the editorials. I'm not as into this stuff. I should read it, but I don't. And this is a short story. Ooh, wow. Some heroines Shakespeare. So we've got, you know, our little talk about actresses, our little gossip column section, or, ooh, society stuff. Palm Beach, Florida. Old-fashioned beds. I always find it very interesting when it's like old-fashioned, but you know, it's been more than 100 years old for us. Oh wow, look at that. Not as big into furniture. Gotta say, it's not really my thing, but some people love old furniture. Another story. Another stories. So much words, so many words. Safe foods and how to get them. Now that's interesting. I took a class in college all about history of food, and this idea of safety and this idea of like foods that are safe to eat has really been not only a political issue throughout time, but has changed. Like when people say like eat what your grandmother ate, this is what your grandmother ate, and she was just as confused as you were about what to eat. I will read this at some point and get back to you on this, because that's actually very interesting. The rights of the child. That's also interesting. Modern home building. Oh, and here we get to the ads. All right, so the ads are some of the most interesting parts of the magazine because you can get to see what people were buying and how they were being sold to. We have a Campbell's soup ad. Wow. Gradual fairy stories. Cute. Vaseline tubes. Perfect fit for prompt service. National Cloak and Suit Company. Ladies' watches. As an Xmas present, guys, I hate to tell you this, but you are in the January issue. Well, maybe that'd be, I don't know. I don't know much about like magazine like distribution during that time period, but maybe, I know today like the January issue comes out in December, so maybe they were on time. Although it would be very ironic if they weren't. Oh my God. The Christmas dinner will not be complete without Jell-O for dessert. I can tell you that this year, in the year of our Lord, 2020, it is 2021, but Christmas for 2020, my mother made Jell-O as a Christmas dessert. So, 111 years on, still eating Jell-O for Christmas dessert. Hole-proof hosiery. I don't know about that. I feel like I've been seeing these ads for like tights that are never gonna break, and I was like, thank you for that dare. Like I can run through a pair of socks like nobody's business. Oh, look at that. Singer sewing machine, model 66. They put red in their advertisement. That's really fancy. Class pins or badges. Squad? What? I think they're selling chickens, like live chickens down here. Fell's naphtha. Invention of the sewing machine. Are they like putting naphthalene in soap? I don't know about this one. This looks very toxic to me. Ooh, look at that. Garter belt. Oh, look. Oh my God, look. Look, they're selling us for Christmas a little push cart. It's cute. How to give a girls and boys fair. It's like little birthday party instructions. Our great annual January sale of muslin underwear. Someone selling birds, parrots, and goldfish. I don't think those two things go together very well. Butterick patterns, they're putting themselves in there. That Red Cross shoe, the most comfortable. They're telling us how to embroider our underwear now. Tooth powder. Oh, look at that, little corset covers. I've knit one of these. I've knit a hot water bottle cover just like that. Oh my goodness. Kneecap. Abdominal band. Useful things in knitting. Learn to knit. See, not everyone just popped out of the womb knowing how to knit. People had to learn. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's something we don't want anymore. The Star asbestos pad for dining tables. Don't put asbestos on your dining table. It's not a good idea. Oh, look at those. Again, yeah, made that belt a million times. Those little belts. Okay, look at this. Cute cat's calendar. People have not fundamentally changed. People were buying cute cats calendars in 1906. I can say that I have invested in a cute cat calendar in my day. Not for 25 cents though, that is a bargain for that. Look at that. Gym uniform. Pants for baby. Dressmaking, up to date. So this is Butterick's Book of Dressmaking. I actually have a Butterick dressmaking book from 1916, so kind of close. Couple of years out, but kind of close. Methods for measuring patterns. Sewing machine. Tooth powder. Again, lots of tooth powder. If pies could only talk. I wouldn't want my pies to talk. I'm fine with them being inanimate objects. Look at that. Nabisco sugar wafers, those still exist. I don't know why I bookmarked this part. Oh, because of this spine curvature. I also have scoliosis, which is something you probably don't know about me, but this was interesting for me to see the spine curvature thing, because I had to wear one of these. I mean, not one of those, obviously, but something like this when I was a kid. Windsor chairs, old and new. Rat poison. Maple flavor. Oh my God, look at those cakes. New Year's entertainment cakes. It's crazy. Bell chocolatier. Oh, here's Heinz. 57 varieties. Minced meat. Don't know about that, but Butterick Metropolitan Fashions. New Year's gift, a subscription to the Delineator. Y'all know this is a good investment. And there's the last page with a cream of wheat ad on the back. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough of the January 1906 edition of the Delineator magazine. I hope that you come back next week for that exciting pocket video that I hope to get out. Cross my fingers, my computer's gonna work after 2 times with the Apple Geniuses. So if you would like to be notified for that video or my other upcoming videos, you can subscribe to this channel down below. It would also be great if you liked this video, if you could hit the like button and leave a comment if you have something interesting that you liked in this particular magazine. I also invite you to follow me on my Instagram at Costume and Conservation and over on TikTok at Costume and Conservation. Over there, I like to talk about my study collection pieces and also answer some questions. So again, I hope you have a fabulous day. I will hopefully see you in the next video very soon. Bye.